Hi again, and thanks so much again for joining me. Glad you're here. So, today we're going to cover the likelihood, the probability that you're going to be inundated with donations after a disaster, and the challenges of managing those effectively. For our learning objectives today, I hope that you'll gain some new understanding about donations management, that you'll be able to predict the arrival of donations, you'll anticipate the challenges that exist with donations. We'll learn a little bit from prior cases, and then we'll consider some strategies to be more successful in dealing with them in the future. One of the facts about disasters is that people will want to donate goods and supplies to those affected. They will see the impact on TV and social media, and they'll want to help, and the media will encourage them to do so. Donations will therefore arrive at the scene of disaster in large quantities, and they range from clothing and diapers to shampoo and soap. In addition, you may receive food and water, construction supplies, hard hats, and work gloves, among many other things. Although donations can be very helpful, they can be problematic as well. And in fact, people refer to donations management as the disaster within a disaster. At times, you may get too many donations, truckloads in fact. In other cases, the quality of donations is in question. You may receive the wrong type, expired medicines, and even winter coats that are not appropriate for tropical locations. Furthermore, you may have problems with storage, sorting, transportation, and distribution. It's a major hassle to determine what was given and the best way to get it to victims and survivors. We can learn a lot from prior disasters, and so let me share a few of them with you. One of them comes from Hurricane Andrew and the important research from David Nill. Professor Nill revealed that there were several challenges with donations, but let me share a few of them with you. First of all, people felt a desire to donate food to the victims of this disaster. They got cans out of their pantry, put them in boxes, and then gave them to the individuals and organizations that were providing food to victims and responders alike. Unfortunately, this required a lot of sorting, and each small can had to be cut open, which required a lot of work. It just wasn't very efficient. It would have been better to buy larger cans of the same item. Secondly, people felt a desire to purchase or provide clothing for the victims of disaster. They loaded up their clothing from their closets and their drawers. They put them in boxes, put them on trucks, and sent them to Florida. When the drivers arrived, they have no way of knowing where they should take clothing, so in some cases they simply dumped clothing on the side of the road. Unfortunately, with the rain and humidity and hot weather, some of this clothing began to rot. And so this was a very big challenge for those involved in donations management. The Oklahoma bombing is the second case which has positive and negative lessons for those involved in donations management. In many ways, donations management was very successful in this particular disaster. Appropriate amounts of food came in for emergency workers. Other donations were staged at a Coca-Cola plant, which facilitated logistics. FEMA also sent a donations coordination team to the area to help out. Furthermore, the local community put together an unmet needs committee to help distribute financial donations that came in. This was very effective in determining who would get financial help and for what reasons. Unfortunately, there were complaints that there were delays in this committee distributing funds to those in need. 9/11 is another disaster which provides some interesting lessons about donations management. People saw the devastation caused by this man-made event, and they wanted to help. Some donated blood. Others donated gear and equipment for first responders. Computers and office supplies were given to reestablish the Emergency Operations Center. Dog food was sent in pallets for the canine search and rescue teams. Unfortunately, this could not be used because these dogs have a very special diet. In another case, an African nation offered to donate cattle to New York City. This was a great honor in their mind. Government officials in New York did not want to offend them, so they accepted the donation and put the cows at a zoo for children to enjoy. Finally, a lot of money came into the American Red Cross to help the victims of this particular disaster. Millions of dollars were given. The Red Cross felt that they could retain some of this money for a rainy day fund. This offended the donors, so it's very important that you're clear on what money is needed and where and how it will be spent. Based on the research literature and practical experience, there are several recommendations to keep in mind. First of all, be clear about what you need. You don't need everything. Secondly, seek donations directly for companies. That way you get what you want and in the correct amounts. Third, get help from voluntary organizations. They can help you with donations management. Fourth, focus on logistics and distribution, particularly storage and transportation. And finally, request cash donations as the preferred type of donation. Money is more helpful than in-kind donations. Let me convey a few other helpful ideas as well. Be sure to share your needs with the media so that they understand what is preferred in terms of donations management. Next, appoint a donations coordinator, someone who can oversee this entire operation. Perhaps you'll need multiple people, actually. Next, create an unmet needs committee. This can help you address long-term needs after the disaster subsides. Well, let me conclude with a few points. First of all, donations will arrive en masse after disaster. They could pose a significant problem to you. Therefore, in some ways, it's better to request cash donations and spend the money as you see fit rather than obtain in-kind donations. You can seek help from a donations coordinator, from nonprofit organizations, or an unmet needs committee. And you can manage these donations effectively. Donations don't have to be another disaster within a disaster. If you would like further information, you might want to look at the articles listed on this slide. In addition, there's lots of training available from state and federal emergency management agencies. I hope this was a good review about donations management. Highest regards. Have a great day.